Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest monster truck diecast YouTube channel. This is Monster Jam OCD.
Well, hello world, and welcome back to the Monster Truck Collecting Podcast for episode number 14. Joined again with Phil and RJ to discuss the 2008 year of Hot Wheels Monster Jam. Of course, as our new rule, we're going to do them in two parts. So, Phil, I think we're going to divide the year in half. I don't.
Well, I don't know. Look through that checklist real quick. I think we might be able to do all of it tonight.
Okay, then we'll do all of it. I saw it earlier. I was like,
because
I don't know.
There's like. This is going to be a half-hour episode if we cut it in half.
Okay. Then we will do the full year. I'll do the screen share again if you want me to. I don't mind doing that.
Somebody says that Phil forgot his pit shirt. Here, give me 1 second. I'll try something else.
Okay. And also, what else did I want to say? Oh, yeah. So I'm finally announcing.
What about RJ?
What about me?
Here.
Yes, Phil. I'm glad you're here.
RJ, do you have your bell?
No, it's in the it's in another room. I do not have it with me, but I think we should be good. There's no random. Hey, okay, there we go.
That works.
We don't have any like Stone Cold trucks that would make me want to scream Stone Cold tonight, so we're good. We're good.
All right. So here's 2008. What else I want to say was that March 1st, everyone keep your eyes on the Superstore for March 1st. Something first of its kind that are coming out. Very excited, and unfortunately, I can't tell you what that is, but March 1st, just that's the day everything changes. So 2008 Hot Wheels Monster Jam. We're going to see a lot of repeats today. We talked last episode, 2007, or last two episodes about 2007, where they started to use the new plastic base instead of the metal base. So you're going to see a lot of the same trucks now. If they didn't get a plastic base release last year, they're going to get one this year. This is kind of where we start to see Hot Wheels shift into the repeat kind of style permanently. So you're never going to see it be all new trucks every year again, unfortunately. So number one, of course, is Gravedigger. This is a typical one, same graphics, a little bit of a change on the logo placement. They're now using the toy renders in motion down there. The numbers, of course, are going to, I think, work out this year, 70 trucks. And then just a quick scroll through because this is the same one as usual. Phil, if you want to add anything about the new card or anything before we
it's kind of weird. This is almost like the continuation 2007.
Yeah.
I think the card's basically the same. I think the base has a little bit of a difference with like the number trim.
Yeah. And
this is out of what, 70?
70, yeah.
So it's a little more distinguished. So other than those minor updates, it's really the continuation. That's why I said tonight I think we could do all 2008 because the majority of what you get in 2008 is what you got in 2007 and then some.
Cool. So there's Gravedigger, same release for the last many years, basically. Also, same release here, plastic base Hot Wheels with the gold rims and the new Hot Wheels beat slogan, same stuff. So again, skipping right through it. We're going to kind of rush through most of these because they are just repeats. And then again, Iron Outlaw, which I think debuted in our last episode, or maybe an episode before that in 2007 part 1, is back again with the plastic base with that really nice accurate body. We talked a lot about how well the Cretan team was treated, Two Extreme was treated by Hot Wheels for the most part, except for Scarlet Bandit. That is an exception with the accuracy. So Iron Outlaw was a great one to have come out, and it was a great one to see come back again. So there's Iron Outlaw, and then also that same maroon El Toro Loco that they are completely obsessed with back again for another release.
It's just on a different chassis.
It is on a different chassis. So this is I don't know why they gave it this chassis, but this is the new chassis they modified for things like Max D and Avenger to make the roll cage fit underneath the body. I'm not quite sure why El Toro Loco would have it because the roll cage has areas to go into for the original style, but yes, they do have a second roll cage. We'll see a couple other roll cage modifications down the line, but this is the first official one. It's got the curved bar here. They call the curve roll cage, and it's flat here to fit the curvier bodies. So yeah, El Toro Loco, I'm not quite sure why it got that, but it did. So that was number 4. And then the Shock series is still hanging around. I believe we've already received this Avenger before.
Yeah.
The Shock series. So this is a repeat of the Shock series. Of course, now using the front end Try Me section instead of the top for a little more action inside the package, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't work that well. And then there's that. Also, I think it's this year that we're going to start seeing the Spectra Flame series because we're starting to use renderings. Hot Wheels had it too. If you notice the red beadlocks, this is a Spectra Flame series truck that they're using, and we will see it this year. Number 6, another repeat. Blue Thunder is back again. This one actually has a real life picture, and it's using the same old tooling. Next year, you're going to see with the debut of not only Blue Thunder's new tooling, but also the World Finals trucks, the new forward tooling that they give it for a few years. And the Built Tough is on this one. So that's number 6. And then number 7, I think also we saw this last year.
I told you guys, this is it's a rough start to 2008.
Yeah. So Tilt-Offs, it gets a new logo or like symbol for its new series, but nothing new. This is the same Iron Outlaw. And also you'll notice they added this blue extension to the little placard.
Well, yeah, so Tilt-Offs is actually the new name of the line. It was
I was about to say his name.
Oh, right. Undercovers. That's right. It was Undercovers before. So Tilt-Offs is the new whatever you want to call it, the new name, new series, whatever. So yeah, that's the sub-series as I call it. So there's the Tilt-Offs new logo, weird placard there. We got the toy rendering, but same one, nothing new. And then another one, another repeat, Red Max D. But there's that, like I mentioned, that new roll cage. They are using it inside here. Again, it doesn't really make sense too much because the roll cage would still fit underneath this casting, but
it wasn't a budget cut to cut out like one extra bar and save an extra penny on some plastic.
Yeah, and there is Maximum Destruction Red.
Is your hair blonde?
It is. You will see it again in Spectra Flame, and then American Guardian again. Same body. So there's that. If you guys want to get more into detail with these, we did a podcast.
We've done a couple of episodes on some of these trucks already. Yeah. So
now this one actually has a big story behind it. Although we've already seen this truck before many times, this one is particularly interesting. For whatever reason, this is the only truck that does it. If you leave this out in the sunlight, that roll cage is going to turn so brittle, it's going to like disintegrate. And no idea why, but Screamin' Demon is known for that. It's very hard to actually find one mint, especially loose, because people usually leave their trucks in presence of heat or sunlight or don't take care of them properly. And most trucks can survive that, actually, everything except for this. And this one, its roll cage will disintegrate. And I know
Screamin' Demon was a peg warmer, so if yours fell apart, you could probably find another 12.
Exactly. So Screamin' Demon.
Now it's kind of hard, but like,
back then. And it's kind of got an interesting toy render. It's got like half of a red roll cage, black roll cage, and weird chrome rims. I don't know. So
it's like a graphic guide, and we're like, "Hey, Bill, what are you doing? Like, stop that. We have to do a render for something else." And he got halfway done.
Yep.
Yeah, and so yeah, Screamin' Demon, it will fall apart. If you guys have one that's mint, please don't put it in the sunlight. Just for the sake of it not falling into pieces.
All right. Yeah. So what number was Screamin' Demon?
Number 10. And
well, the first 10 trucks of 2008 were 100% re-releases from 2007.
Yeah. We finally got a new
first case.
Yeah, and that's rough because I can imagine those were all peg warmers. This one is number 11. It's the start of one of the most well-known and well-respected and sought-after series ever, which is Spectra Flames, and I still love Spectra Flames to this day. So basically the idea is they're going to take this paint and it's going to be almost chrome, but not fully, but it's going to be really nice. And it's off kind of the color of the regular truck. They're also going to, for the first time ever, paint the beadlocks to make them red line as they do with their normal Hot Wheels cars. They have like a specialty line called red lines. So they add that little special touch on there. Eventually in the future, this beadlock will actually get an upgrade. It'll actually be like a diamond plated beadlock. But for now, they paint just the regular beadlocks, which never happens on any other models except for Spectra Flames with these original rims. So here is Gravedigger, same paint or same graphic scheme. However, it's got this charcoal like Spectrachrome body, which is really cool. and it's just a really nice piece. I love the fact that they did that. But the headlights, we're going to start seeing this a lot. The headlights kind of will come and go, and sometimes they'll just not appear again. So for whatever reason, headlights are not on this piece, but there's that nice Spectra chrome or Spectra Flame chrome, charcoal chrome body, and I really do enjoy the Spectra Flame series, and they're really solid lineup of them we're going to see as we go through. So if we want to stop here and give some opinions on this one.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, Spectra Flames I think might be the crowd favorite line. It's simple, where it's like you're just altering the paint. This is something that's very common in the regular Hot Wheels cars. Like if diehard Hot Wheels collectors know about the Spectra Flame pink cars, and whatnot. So I know when these first came out, a lot of the regular Hot Wheels collectors are like, oh, are these treasure hunts or the chase pieces that are like the ride trucks and the training trucks and the blackouts that we know today? No, the normal trucks. I remember that was always a big confusion. Do I need to be hoarding these? No, you don't. Gravediggers, maybe not. I think it's a great charcoal look. There's probably a lot better ones that do come out this year, but of course, Gravedigger gets the nod anytime there's a new subset. I will say I'm kind of surprised we really don't see Spectra Flames exist in Hot Wheels monster trucks. I would think that'd be an easy layup. Maybe they kind of want to branch out a little bit, which is understandable, but I would definitely love to see this in Hot Wheels monster trucks, especially even a truck all beefed up. If you gave all beefed up a Spectra Flame, I think it'd be a little bit more cooler. So it's an easy layup line, and it's obviously Gravedigger is a good one to start with.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it was one of the trucks of the year for me back then. I don't remember what else is in this year. Sorry, I didn't look pre-show, but this one was a good truck. I love the paint scheme of it and the detail on the rims. I always took Sharpies on the Carpet League trucks and made them the certain colors that they matched. So seeing red on this was very cool for me.
Yeah. So Spectra Flame, I agree with Phil there. They definitely need to bring that back to the Hot Wheels monster trucks line. It changes such a dynamic about everything. I mean, you can give, I hate to say it, but you can give the Camaro a Spectra Flame paint scheme to actually look pretty good. So even if they do not even a mainline series, if they do the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, a Spectra Flame 5 set series with the red line tires, again, those would sell incredibly well. But Spectra Flame is just such a great Hot Wheels original idea, and the paint colors look amazing. So there is Gravedigger. That's one of them, and there's many to come from this series and moving forward into a couple more years, I think it comes around. So there's the first new truck of 2008, the Spectra Flame Gravedigger, number 11, and then back to repeats, number 12, Predator. Here he is again, same stuff. We will eventually see a Predator with Spectra Flames, which actually looks really nice, but Predator is out here. And then we enter the crowd or the scene here with our. Did we get this last year, or
this is a brand new one?
Okay, so there's a great story behind Captain's Curse that many people might not know. Days before the World Finals, when they wanted to debut it, Neil Vandenberg was designing it from scratch, and he got it done before the World Finals, and I think he got this award. It's called Neil Vandenberg Day at Feld Entertainment for his design ethics with Captain's Curse and how fast he did it. If I have a chance, I'll show that at the end of the podcast. But Captain's Curse is one of the classics of this era, and one of the trucks I really do miss. I loved the red scheme. I also really loved when it had the black scheme, and I do miss the Willys body because it was a great truck. And Pirates also a really good one, but you can't beat the classics, especially with such amazing looking artwork as this. So Neil Vandenberg, definitely, this is one of his best pieces, and one he's well known for in terms of the Monster Jam family. So there's that Captain's Curse debuting with that bright red scheme. This was, of course, after its actual debut in real life with the 2007 Freestyle Championship under Pablo. But this is an awesome one. So, Phil, we can stop here, and you guys can go ahead.
Yeah, Captain's Curse, this is such a very easy. The tool's been around forever. But you remember the real-life truck, it debuted at the World Finals. It was blacksmith the entire year. And then all of a sudden, it's boom, Captain's Curse. And then, boom, Pablo wins the World Championship at its debut event. I know Son of Digger had a great encore freestyle that's very iconic, but Captain's Curse won the World Championship at its debut. That's a big deal, and such an easy one to have. So it makes so much sense how it's right at the beginning in 2008. Personally, I was a huge, Captain's Curse fan. I love the bright red on this truck. It was such a contrast from Blacksmith, which was, all black. And I could never find Captain's Curse. I went the entire year. I think Captain's Curse was the last truck I got from 2008 because it came out in like one of those later cases. So if you guys follow the cases or the mixes on how the trucks come out, every case has new trucks or for the year or brand new in general. Real big brain stuff if you don't know all the what's in the boxes at the stores. But towards the end of the year, Hot Wheels a lot of times they would have like case R, case S, because that's about the letter of the alphabet that they would be in, and those cases would be 100% re-releases from random times in the year. Just another chance for more people to get those trucks, especially around the holiday season and before they transitioned to 2009. So that's how I got my Captain's Curse. It was in some sort of later case. So I was very thankful for that. And I think it's an early release in 2009 as well. Actually, I think it's the first truck in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is such a great one. And I would say it's probably the best truck in 2008 until we get to like the monstrous way we end 2008. That's why, we talk about 2008 is really sluggish. It has a lot of re-releases, but wait till we get to the end of 2008. It's like one of the most epic things in the history of monster truck collecting.
Yeah, this one that's what I was about to say. You're talking about trucks of the year back with the Spectra Flame Gravedigger. This one definitely is in that category. It was for me back then, and still remember Pablo winning that World Finals. And I love this truck. It was very cool to see.
So actually, I was able to, while they talked, pull up Neil's portfolio here. So just a quick little Captain's Curse because everyone loves this truck, and there's not much to talk about at the beginning of 2008 anyway. Here's the original layout of the artwork. So you can see that level of, well, it's a little blurry, but you can see the level of detail he went into in those few days that he had to design this. And actually, there's really good images of it. So Neil's just incredible. I mean, all this tiny detail, hand done. I couldn't imagine how I could do this myself. So it's just like looking at all the level of detail in this truck that you don't see on Pirate's Curse now is just phenomenal. But also that funny little thing I said, Neil Vandenberg Day, March 21st. So everyone mark your calendars. You guys, everyone celebrate this. He's an amazing person for all he's done for us. And this was the thing I was talking about. So it says, they recognize Neil's efforts for the graphics that will debut. He's given impossible time constraints on a heavy graphic workload, and he said, we'll get it done. So Neil,
oh my gosh, you need to make a post on Facebook on March 21st. Write that down on your phone.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. We'll have to remind ourselves. But yeah, he said his quote, we'll get it done. So Neil, definitely miss him working as one of the main graphics guys there, and he did such phenomenal work over his tenure in Monster Jam. So this was an awesome truck, and there's Captain's Curse. So on to the next one, another repeat, Bounty Hunter from 2 Extreme with that new body that we saw last year, 14 out of 70. And another Spectra Flame. And this one, unfortunately, is not a very popular one, although I love it. I thought it was awesome. Yeah. However, the purple, I'm not sure if it suited it better than a Spectra Flame, that really cool Spectra Flame, like hot pink that they have. However, they did choose to go with the purple, which is also a really cool tone to give to Scarlet Bandit. So you can see there's that purple color. But again, like I said, and like Phil will also mention, it was a peg warmer of the Spectra Flame series. But Scarlet Bandit getting another recognition. They're like, we're going to try this one more time, and then one more time, and it's still nothing ever helped it sell better. But there's Scarlet Bandit with the purple scheme.
Yeah, although purple was kind of cool. I mean, I personally like it. It's one of my favorites. But again, it's out on the pegs like every other Scarlet Bandit that's ever came out. Again, no offense to Extreme Racing and Don Crean and the whole contingent. The trucks just never sold well, ever. I will say, because there were so many on the shelves, a lot of people, including myself, were making Escalade customs out of this one specifically because they figured with the little red Spectra Flame trim on the tires that it'd be kind of cool touch with Escalade. Now, there is a very notable truck that comes out in 2009 that completely, becomes a definitive Escalade custom truck. But for a good solid year, anybody that needs an Escalade custom, this is the truck they got.
Yeah.
Sure. Never thought of it like that. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the real truck never ran like red rims or anything, but it was just kind of like, Escalade has that bling, so it makes sense.
No, yeah.
A little bit of red.
I liked it. It wasn't bad. It's the peg warmer problem. Yeah.
I do want to note here that the rendering for the Spectra Flame is originally that hot pink that Mattel does have for Spectra Flame. So it might have been a last-minute decision.
And you know why they probably didn't make it hot pink?
Because guys don't like pink, or boys, little boys aren't going to buy pink trucks.
Yes, but no. It's probably because what I said, the Spectra Flame line has always been about hot pink cars in the Hot Wheels land. Anytime a pink Hot Wheels car came out, it was Spectra Flame. That always made it a high dollar. So if you make this a hot pink and it's labeled Spectra Flame, all of a sudden that Peg Warmer Scarlet Bandit becomes a $500 truck on eBay for no reason until people realize that it's not a special truck.
Well, it would have helped sell Scarlet Bandit in the end. So.
And because RJ as well.
Also, I wanted to show this is what the actual Spectra Flame color.
Yeah, so like any Hot Wheels collector knows, like the pink Spectra Flame Hot Wheels cars are like big money players here. So probably have a hot pink monster truck like that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice. That would have been a nice pink color. But there is
a Barbie Corvette. So
yeah, we get it before. I mean, we kind of get it going there with Corvette Barbie, but man, that's like
years
ago until this.
And they really they doled out that pink color on Barbie on purpose because again they could have gone full measure there. And Barbie's a chase piece in itself, so they should have done it. Yeah. But they did give it that dull kind of light pink.
No, your words, King.
Yeah, here's number 16, another repeat. Full bore, just scrolling right through it. Again, we've talked about these in the past podcast, so if you guys want to hear the stories behind them.
One of our moderators is spreading false information in the chat.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's Ninja Turtle. That's number
17.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so there's that back again on a plastic base. I don't think we got this last year, so if you want a plastic base edition, there's that. And then we have another Spectra Flame. So this one's really cool. And my favorite color of the Spectra Flame line is this red, this like cherry red. So they do give the Maximum Destruction this nice cherry red release. So you can see it's got that nice reflective Spectra Flame paint, excuse me. And it's just really cool. So there's that one. If you want to stop here. Go ahead.
Yeah, this one's a good one to rival the Gravedigger.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the same par, too, where it's not something so drastic like the Scarlet Bandit, where it's just a subtle touch to the existing scheme. So it's another good one, too. I think it makes the red truck live a little more in lore because it just pops a little more. So this is number 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 18, and then number 19, another repeat that we saw last year, Monster Mutt Dalmatian and the new Dog Pound truck. It'll become a permanent part of the line from this point forward, so you'll see it a lot. And a new independent from Team Scream, the Wrecking Crew. Not quite sure why they have Green Ghost behind it for the rendering, but they do. So there is the debut on that nice Chevy tooling. So I'm sure we want to talk about this one because this is a brand new face in the line.
Yeah, so actually this is a Hot Wheels fantasy scheme. The real truck does like eventually get this scheme, but it's not right off the bat. Wrecking Crew, it's kind of weird how Hot Wheels did it. They went back a couple of years later, like towards the end of their life, the Wrecking Crews that were coming out were based off the scheme of like the first version of the real life Wrecking Crew. So it's kind of like they went in reverse. Like eventually Kohler and Team Scream, they took this design and put it on the real truck. And then Hot Wheels is like, okay, let's go back and put the old scheme on the toy. So I always thought that was kind of funny. But, truth be told, I mean, I was a little naive. Wrecking Crew wasn't really running Monster Jam quite yet at this time. If it was like, this is like really the first year it was on like a full first quarter. Mm-hmm. So originally I was like, what is this Wrecking Crew truck? I mean, I didn't necessarily realize that. It's kind of hard, Phil, how'd you not know that? It's like, well, some things are oversights. So I like it. It's a pretty, it's a self-explanatory truck. I'm surprised this one never was a peg warmer, probably because it's bright yellow. So
I liked it. It was one of the top trucks of this line for me. It was cool seeing it. I kept up with Team Scream. So not saying you didn't, but I'm just saying it was a good truck. I liked it.
Yeah, so Wrecking Crew, we will see it again.
Well, that was number 20. I just want to pause and just let everyone realize that after 20 trucks, 2 of which were brand new and 3 of which were different colors, the other 15 were all re-releases.
Yes.
So that means if you're especially buying the special colors, that means 25% of the stuff you only would have bought. That's a low number.
It is. And Taz, again, by this point, I'm pretty sure, if I'm right, this is running the tour and Adam's in it, but they're still using the toy render. That's what's throwing me off here. Right. So the toy render is there. They're also, every single picture now, I'm noticing they're covering a truck instead of like purposely photoshopping it out. But there's Taz repeating again, nothing new about it on a plastic base. 21, 22, this is new. This is actually returning casting backdraft with this new logo and flame style. Again, with the green ghost in the background, not quite sure why they went so lazy with those, but backdraft. So I'll let Phil take it from here on backdraft.
You know what's kind of weird? So it's good to see backdraft back. This is, I mean, it's a fire truck. I think every kid will get a kick out of this, but I don't know why this fantasy scheme. I don't know if the Slifcos ever. I think it's the Slifcos are running backdraft at this time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever had intentions to run this scheme, but this is like the scheme Hot Wheels runs with
forever.
Gosh, till like 2012, and then even then, it's like almost too little, too late. But yeah, I mean, and this backdraft is almost a featured truck in so many ways, just because it's a fire truck. But I mean, I guess the scheme's cool. It's pretty basic when you look at like fire truck standards, and especially when you compare it to like the real life backdraft trucks that, you know, when we get some of the more original schemes, it's, you know, a lot more detail with like little intricacies. So, I mean, this truck really serves its purpose, but the fantasy scheme, this one never caught on, and it just doesn't age well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about.
There isn't.
Fantasy schemes.
Yeah, it's one of the lesser ones. There's not much.
It's not terrible. They could have done worse, but
they could have. They also could have done so much better with a fire truck scheme like this, and especially there's a lot of surface to print and actually put lots of graphic into. So, yeah, it was a little disappointing seeing this come out so many times in the past. But backdraft is here to stay, and actually, well, here to return and then stay. Number 23, Aftershock. I can't recall if we've already had this body, but I think the rims are changed on it now.
You know, I looked up this exactly from 2006, but except for let me look at the tailgate.
Okay,
yeah, the tailgate may be different.
No, it's the same.
Okay, so Aftershock is back again and repeating.
It's on plastic, so for any metal plastic people, this is your first chance at a plastic Aftershock.
Finally, another new color one. Spectra Flame Hot Wheels, although, you know, there's a lot of graphics on here, so it kind of defeats most of the purpose of having it. However, it is nice to have that charcoal paint again. And you'll notice that the original one I showed you earlier actually is the same exact rendering with the Spectra Flame rims. So now you're getting those Spectra Flame rims on the gold. I think it's maybe the only one out of this entire series that has different colored rims besides Chrome that have the Spectra Flame bead. But there's the charcoal Hot Wheels. What were we going to say, Phil?
You know what's kind of weird about this Hot Wheels, always bugged me a little bit, is that the hood, the grill's all black. It's like, you know, the whole tampo stops, which, yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird. I think it's a cool touch for the Spectra Flames, but it's not a continuation of the scheme. So I always thought that was kind of weird, but maybe they did that for the Spectra Flame purposes, which would be understandable because it probably does look better like this because you get some of that black charcoal to pop out.
Headlights would have been nice.
If the deco comes down anymore, what's the point really in doing it? Because there's not much on the truck, so that's probably looked at it like, oh, we can fit it in there.
That's part of the problem with these Spectra Flames, where some of them are not as, I mean, it's such a great line, but unfortunately, when you put them next to the regular ones, it's easy to be confused. I mean, there's enough changes where like it stands out, but also if you sneeze the wrong way, it can get lost in the shuffle, which I mean, again, we talk so much praise about the Spectra Flames, but that was always kind of a kryptonite that nobody ever really complained about, but it was very much understood that, hey, some of these trucks might look very similar, especially at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so there's Spectra Flame Hot Wheels. And then another returning, or unless this is a new tilt-off.
You know what? Actually, this is a new tilt-off, but I don't know anybody that was asking for a Pouncer tilt-off. I think this was a good case because they made the tooling for Predator to be a tilt-off. So I guess you might, since you can do Pouncer and Prowler. I don't think we ever get a Prowler tilt-off ever. No, which is kind of kind of a stinker when you think about it in the long form. But here's a Pouncer tilt off. Pouncer's just such a. I feel like this may have been a peg warmer. Don't ever quote me, but
it was
on Pouncer is not very visually appealing. That could be why the real truck is more so cheetah, and this one's more like leopard, or vice versa. I'm not an Animal Kingdom guy, but this tan color is not like much pleasing, especially if this is coming out the time as bright red and bright purples and yellows, and it's like, and here's tan, like yucky.
Yeah, I don't know why they love Pouncer so much. It's
Predator
too, but Predator, the classic Pouncer is kind of just tossed in there all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, my man Slinger keeps tagging me and stuff.
Yeah, me too. There's Pouncer, and then I think we
saw it last year. Yeah. Sorry, folks. Here it is again.
So here it is again. Plastic base. I think it also had a plastic base release
what
last
number
year.
Is Broker?
Yeah, that new Broker here. And Superman again is here.
Superman's what number? 27.
Oh,
jeez. Okay.
27. Nothing new. And then 28. This is actually a brand new scheme. On the Shock series. It debuts with the Shock series before it gets a normal release chassis. This is the Destroyer with the new Destroyer on the side of it. I actually did really like this redesign that the truck got. I actually liked it. It's hard to say. I like the flame design too, but this makes a lot of sense with obviously the Destroyer boat. And I think Dan Evans did use this, right? I'm not.
Yeah. This was the. Man, I don't know. Hot Wheels may have designed this scheme.
It looks like their artwork. It does.
I think that's why the real truck changed.
Yeah. But I do recall as a young collector having this Shock Series one. And I was always wanting a normal one because I preferred the normal release before a special release. But eventually I did get it in my collection, like catch up that I had in like 2018. So it took me a while to get this. But yeah, Destroyer, great, cool new scheme. RJ, also, if you want to talk about that one.
No, that's interesting that it took you that long. I don't even know if I have a regular one. I don't have the Spectra flame one that comes out later. But I think I have the Shock one. But yeah, I mean, it was cool for the time. I mean, it's Hot Wheels. It's good. It's good. I like it. It was a good truck back then. I mean, the original one is like, so like Phil says, if you can picture a monster truck, the Destroyer is the one. So this, like, your thoughts, Phil?
Yeah, no, RJ's 100% right. That's exactly what I was gonna bring up, because it's like all of a sudden Destroyer has this crazy contrast of like from flames and generic monster truck to a boat. Like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, you got a boat now on the truck. And real life Dan Evans did change the body style from Chevy to Ford. And then when Dan sold the truck to Roger Stidell, Roger did run this scheme for a good period of time before he got the trophy truck Destroyer look. So the scheme lasted a very long time. Yeah, again, it's just such a huge contrast from like generic monster truck Destroyer with flames. Now it's got a boat and it's like doing things and stuff. So yeah, if anybody ever had an excuse to buy a Shocks, this is probably the one. I mean, you can make a case for like a Prowler or Avenger, but we do get the normal Destroyer, but it comes out at the end and like the big Fiesta at the end of 2008. But at this point, this is an earlier release, so this does well, and this comes out right around like World Finals times and stuff. So you have it right when Dan's doing a lot of big TV stuff with the new scheme.
Yeah. Also, I think if they were going to do this new boat theme, I think maybe an update to the logo would have been better than having the original curve one. I don't know, but it is just kind of tossed on there in this scheme. But yeah, there's the new Destroyer. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this one come out.
Impact again. This is number 29.
Yeah, okay. So there's that again. And then finally, we get down to that one I talked about way earlier in the episode. This is the brand new Spectra Flame Avenger with this kind of lime-ish green that they use. One of the better Avengers that they do eventually release. So there is Avenger with that new scheme, and I'll let them chat about that one.
right away when I got this one real quick, because it's a conversation starter, why don't we have a green Gravedigger?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I liked it. It's a good color. I like green over like a purple, I guess. Anyways, once this came out, though, I was like, oh, could we get a green Gravedigger? But, yeah.
And it's funny, before Phil goes, it's funny that they did use the exact same painkiller to the T with Charlie Pawkins' Green Gravedigger at World Finals, and then came back around in 2016 with that pure neon green paint. And I'm like, you guys have Spectra Flame neon or Spectra Flame green paint that matches the exact truck, the candy apple green. You guys should be using that. I don't know why we got this and not the other, but yes, I agree. Also, back then, a Green Gravedigger looked. They should have just done a second Gravedigger at that point, or a Green Ghost would look cool with the charcoal, and then they should have done a normal Gravedigger with the green. But yeah, Avenger looks really cool with this, and I was just so angry when they did the Charlie Pawkin one the way they did. But oh well. Sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the better Spectra Flames of the year, just because green's such a more stronger color to have it pop. Great comment from Levi Shones here. It says the World Finals Carpet League scheme. I think that's a great point. I mean, at this point, we do have the chrome and the orange Avengers that are in toy form, but this one was like a little more special because it's like this is a special Avenger. So this one you can get away with. I know, especially as the years go on, we get a lot more of those World Finals Avenger schemes, and it almost becomes like a ritual that we get them. But this is a great point and another great excuse to buy this Avenger, especially like if you're not buying these special subsets. I think you're picking up this Avenger just because, and it's a good one to have. And I think this is a slightly different scheme than the Shocks one in regards of like some of the decal placements. I could be totally wrong, but let me double check that real quick.
I thought they started to use it just typically as this scheme. They might have changed some sponsors, maybe.
Yeah, like, oh, you know what? No, it's about the same. Yeah, I lied, but
I figured, yeah. What's the thing?
Figured Phil lied. Yeah, I lied.
No, I figured Hot Wheels did that.
Damn.
So new face here, Iron Warrior. We did get Iron Warrior way back when, I think 2005, with that gray scheme. Now we get this blue one, which the real life truck is running at the time. You can see the picture down there. So number 31, a brand new truck. It does not have the correct paint color though. The real truck was navy blue. This one's like a sea blue or cyan, actually, I guess you would say. So kind of odd, but there it is. I think this truck gets a Shocks release or something.
It gets a Shock release.
Yeah.
Next year.
And it'll have a logo variation. I think this comes off.
Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get that 09 because there's some pretty interesting stories on that. But
so there's Iron Warrior. Actually, I'll let Phil talk about that scheme.
Yeah, no, Iron Warrior. Again, first time we've seen it since 2004. It is slightly different. I mean, it's about the same palette, but the 2004 we only get it that one shot. So this is a great chance for it to come back. Man, maybe not the most, like crowd pleaser one, but it gets a more notable scheme later years. And it's a good one to have. Okay. Like this is what, number 30,
31.
So after 31 trucks, if you don't count Spectra Flames, this is, well, it's not even because it came out 2004. So it's not really a brand new truck. It's a newer scheme.
Yeah.
But it's, again, so far disattached. It's kind of like we talked about in 2007, where it's like you got a lot of those same trucks you got maybe 2 or 3 years prior, but in that big amount of gap, there's all new collectors. So Iron Warrior's in that same spirit, and it lasts.
Yeah, I mean, other than the paint being a little bit off, this was pretty tour accurate to a toy, I guess. So, good one to have on your carpet leagues. Good to see again.
You need somebody to lose to Gravedigger round one.
Yeah, round one.
Sorry, Trey.
And the top trucks in the carpet league, and hey, rolling out to the line. Anyway,
don't tell Trey I said that. Trey Meyer,
definitely great driver, great truck. The Thunder National Carpet League that I had, which isn't really carpet because it's on concrete, but this truck was a staple, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's better. Right, Ryan, you can go to the next one.
All right. Let me just grab. Someone was asking me a link to the live stream, so The more viewers, the better. There we go. Okay, so Iron Warrior, number 31, and then another. So we got this twice last year.
Jeez.
Here's it again. El Toro Loco with the maroon on tilt off. So
we should have got a bulldozer on the tilt off.
We really should have.
On the cover, yeah. Like
when we're gonna see a bulldozer. Oh yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Bulldozer won't be back for a while. I don't think.
Although we don't get tilt offs in 2009, huh?
No, I think they're done after this.
So this is it for tilt off, which is a shame.
The send off was not that strong.
No, here's Excalibur again.
Yep.
Very popular one from last year. Get another chance to get it here in 2008.
Finally, new one. Here we go.
Finally, we've seen the truck before, but not quite like this.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to assume this is probably a Hot Wheels design as well.
Yes,
I
know. This was a Hot Wheels design truck.
I can see by the fact that they put it on a render of a truck. So Bad News Travels Fast gets this bright new orange scheme. And I really enjoy this one. It's actually my favorite Bad News scheme. Actually, wait, no, I think I said the red one was my favorite. Second favorite, sorry. The orange, though, on this is just so loud. I absolutely love bright orange. I know Tyler Ramirez, who's watching Savage 1, loves orange too. So this one's just beautiful. Very simple scheme, but like the graphics make sense to the truck. It's like this comic book style, like flashy, like those action bubbles. They're all over the truck. You know, you got the You Lose to Bad News, the newspapers. Got the kid with burning newspapers there with a crazy face. It's awesome, and it's a really cool redesign. It may seem simple, but I think it's effective. It's like a comic book strip that you're looking at. So really like this one. So there is that.
Yeah, and so 2008, well, okay. It was the first year for this scheme. If anybody was paying attention at home, Bad News, I think up until like very recently, they would change the scheme every 4 years. That was like the rule, the tradition.
Okay.
Like they got that. It really started with like the red Hot Wheel, because when they bought the truck, it was like still kind of Excalibur, and then they had a couple different like logo things going on. They got that first, they got that first red Hot Wheel scheme from 2004. It lasted until 2008, and then out this comes, and then it goes purple. And then it goes green, but I think green gets cut short a year to do the black, and then the black gets a slight variation.
Yeah.
Well, the black was mainly for the 20th anniversary. I think that's why they kind of cut the tradition loose a little bit, and then they changed the driver helmet because Brendan Darrow had another child. But yeah, if anybody didn't pay attention to that, that's a tidbit for you. So, or maybe the orange one debuted in 2007, because I'm thinking, didn't the purple one come out in 2011? No, came out in 12. Don't listen to me. This is a great scheme. It's very loud. That first Bad News scheme that Hot Wheels did that came out in 2004 was very busy. This is a lot more cleaner, but it's a lot louder, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I like orange more than red in a color, so I was cool with this one. I was very okay with that. I like this paint scheme a lot. The red one had more detail, but this one, you know, for the time it came out, you know, update. Why not? Yeah, I like it.
All right, so Bad News Travels Fast. We did mention this truck a lot with the episode with Brian Patton, because he's good friends with Brandon, and his logo is on the cradle of the truck, and of course his logo is on the one we'll see in Spin Master form a long time from now, but that's on the black paint scheme. So there is the orange one, and this one's a really cool Spectra frame release right here. So this is the Monster Mutt Dalmatian with the Spectra Flame paint. So obviously they can't do like this chrome white paint scheme, because that would just be chrome. So they dimmed it down to charcoal. The one thing about this truck that bothered me is that it's the only one that they don't put a white background for the decals on, so they kind of just blend in. So they usually put a layer of white and then the color over it, and they stick on the truck. They just put the truck decals right on there. And we see this happen in the future with their Zamac trucks. Really cool, but for the purposes of Monster Mutt, it kind of loses a lot of the detail. They kind of just disappear. The spots kind of just fade away. The red looks good though with the chrome background. However, the mouth here, I'm talking about the mouth specifically, they should have just done at least the mouth with a white background, because the teeth just don't look good. But it's one of the more interesting ones. I think it's just super cool. But I do prefer, we'll see this in 2010, Monster Mutt with the Spectra Flame. That's one of my favorites, because it just looks so cool with the reflective brown paint. But this is Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Unfortunately, Monster Mutt Rottweiler will never receive a Spectra Flame release. So it breaks the code, but oh well. So Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Phil, go ahead.
You know, Such a nerdy moment. This is actually my 100th truck I had in my collection.
Nice.
For some reason, I remembered that because then after that, it got like way too hectic. Where it was like, man, I don't know what I have. But I always remember that. So for sentimental reasons, this is probably my favorite Spectra Flame. And I think it's a good point when you're talking about like how like the Hot Wheels logos there, but you can't really see it, or like the mouth is blended. It's kind of like somebody said, just make the scheme silver. It's like, well, sir, don't you want like outlines? Like, nope, just paint it silver.
Actually, good point. This is a big branding thing. Monster logo always has to be super clear. They did give it a white background, so you can see that contrast between the two logos. That
like instead of their own Hot Wheels logo too, because a lot of times that would be, I know it'd be different colors sometimes, but like it's just paint it silver, send it down. Like
the first thing I thought of when this came out was, why don't we have a Silver Max D Spectra Flame? But to go along with the Gravedigger one, but this was, I love this one. This
is still red Max D era.
Yeah, I know that's kind of why, but like like Ryan loves the red one, and I didn't really like it because it wasn't real, if that makes sense. So like, but like looking back on it, I love it. Like, yeah, it's a great scheme. They should have used it, but love this truck. This one made it to a lot of finals in the Carpet League.
Okay, so Monster Dalmatian, Spectra Flame, interesting color. And then, I forgot this comes out the same year. Another regular release of Scarlet Bandit. I'm sure that one clogged some pegs up. So there she is again. 36. 37, Cowboy again. Already seen it before, so they're just kind of tossing old things back into the mix. This one I have a definitive memory of. Toys R Us, I bought it there on the end cap. Freedom Force. I'm pretty sure it's a real life
brand
truck.
new one, real truck. This is, keep track at home, this is only the third pure brand new truck that we get in 2008 so far.
Woo! So there it is, Freedom Force. I'll let Phil talk about this truck and the.
Oh man, okay. So Freedom Force, this might get an award for like one of the most random trucks ever produced. Okay, so the real life Freedom Force, I don't think people realize was a real truck because it ran very seldomly. It was a gentleman named Jim Hofstetter who had the truck, and the original scheme was very like white,
like an eagle, right?
Hail, yeah, there was like an eagle on it. Hot Wheels designed this scheme, if you couldn't figure that out, and they put it on the real truck, and it was like, bam! Like, that was crazy scheme. Like, bam, bam! Like, here's Freedom Force.
Went from a light pickup truck to boom, America, right?
Oh, Freedom Force! Like, America! Jim Hofstetter! But, like, by the time they got this truck wrapped, he sells it, and I think it becomes mechanical mischief, if I'm pretty sure. In my timeline, and again, so it's like by the time the kids got this toy, Jim's like, I don't have the truck anymore. So it was very short lived, very much like bam in your face, with Freedom Force. So I like the schemes to get a lot of patriotic trucks, and let's take a look at that hood. We can look at the hood there. Yeah, it's like bam, bald eagle right in your face.
Yeah, I like this truck. I really did. I liked it. I once the real truck died off and I had the diecast, it became one of my own trucks in the Carpet League because it was just so patriotic. Got to have it out there. But I liked it.
There's something there on the tailgate. I'm not sure what that is though.
It's like bam. That's probably Jim's company.
Yeah, this was an interesting one. And it's a real shame. It was a great name, great truck, great looking truck. It's a shame that Jim wasn't in the business long enough for it to have that wrap done. But
he got it done. He just
got it done.
Oh, he did get it done. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the story.
But it made a couple arena shows, and then
Oscar.
So Back to Shock series already done. This is the Gravedigger. Using Neil's artwork, redesign of Gravedigger, but not using it on the truck yet. We will see that coming soon.
That bugged me so bad with this release. I saw that artwork and I was like, God.
You know what bugged me? How Brian has like one that's crushed in the package. Like, what's going on with that bubble?
Yeah. It's okay. It's we're coming up on Neil Vandenberg Day, and hopefully by that day we'll be on the time of that new scheme era. So we'll pray that lines up properly.
Oh my gosh, we should have Neil on here for Neil Vandenberg Day.
We can try.
Okay.
We can ask him. I do want to have him on at some point, though, if he's willing to do that and talk. He's, like I mentioned before, he has so many stories and so many things that he.
That's okay.
I mean,
Number 40 here. We see this last year, though.
Yeah. So we're back here. 40 Maximum Destruction with that only ever used one time or twice. I guess you want to consider it.
Yeah, we are more than halfway done with 2008. At this point, we only have 3 pure new trucks. I think 2 or 3 brand new schemes. Those Spectra flames. This is a very
burning it down
in your wallet.
I'm just looking ahead. We have a lot of repeats to go through still.
Yeah, that's why I said we're doing the whole show here. So
if you guys want to hear stories about these, just go back an episode or so.
They're all in the archives. It's a good chance to go back and catch up on.
So there's King Crunch. You never get the 9/11 Memorial Tailgate ever. Sorry, guys. However, Backdraft in the future, 2016 or so, will eventually get a very similar 9/11 tribute to the tailgate of its truck, but never King Crunch. So there's that. I'm not sure if this is a new shocks. It might be of Hot Wheels.
Probably not. Just assuming, probably not.
Yeah, it would be nice if it was a new one, but there's Shocks Hot Wheels number 42.
I'm looking just to make sure before we get too crazy.
I don't think it is, but
and the fact we have to look tells us how important the Shocks line is.
No, it's not.
It's okay. It was the last numbered release in 2007. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. Skipping it.
Actually, it has that same window too. So yeah. Okay, but here's another one.
This one's a nice one.
Yeah.
This is the El Toro Loco.
This was the bulldozer. I about to say bulldozer. This was the.
Hey, stop yelling at the chat. Okay, they get weird all the time. We always ask them for questions, and they ask us things that have nothing to do with what's going on.
So there's a great showing of the red cherry red paint. It is beautiful, and this El Toro Loco finally has a purpose. It's not even the maroon one anymore. It's basically this cherry red El Toro Loco. They should really run a cherry red El Toro Loco in real life like this. It's such a nice color. Great contrast to the yellow on the horns, but it's still using those same weird photoshopped clipped stock image flames. But there it is, El Toro Loco. I'll let those guys talk about it now.
Yeah, go ahead, RJ.
Oh, I was just gonna say this one toured around with Dalmatian in the trailer for the Carpet League. So.
Oh my gosh.
This is the El Toro I didn't mind having. I loved this one because of that red, and then I think I had a double for outside outdoor shows. Ooh, in the sunlight. But this is the El Toro I was cool with because there's so many maroon, and then this comes out and you're like, all right, yeah, something new. Well, not really, but it looks better than the maroon one. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, this is where the red really gets to flex. I know we pointed it out on the Max D, but there's only such little coverage that they were able to get on the body itself before the decals take over. Yeah. This is where you really get to see the power of that red, and this El Toro Loco is really the poster child of that. Mm-hmm. It was really great to see. It's an eye catcher. That's the thing with the Spectra Flames. Some of them they're all cool, but some of them have a little more eye purpose to it. The Gravedigger is cool, but that black can blend in. But the red one, you could see this from the shelf coming down the aisle and tell that this one's a little bit different than the regular El Toro Loco.
And I would even suggest or implore that Spin Master should do a knockoff of Spectra Flame just because the paint colors are so cool. If they can manage to find cherry paint colors like this, or I guess they're called candy paint colors most of the time, because the Spin Master, this is a different example and a sneak peek. The Spin Master surface that they have on these could show off this color so well that it would look awesome. So there's that suggestion to them because we get those decals changes, but the paint colors are awesome. Or with their new Spectra series, I guess we already have a knockoff series with the plastic bodies, chrome wrap of red chrome onto that El Toro Loco. So sick. So anyway, sorry, RJ, go ahead.
No, I don't even remember what I was going to say now.
RJ, that's why I told you have to get a bell. You're not listening to us.
Hang on, I got to remember. What the heck?
The RJ and the hashtag RJ Bells. Let's go.
Oh, man, I really don't remember. So it's fine. Just go on. We're good.
Okay.
Was that important? Oh, that's what it was. I just wanted to go on record and say that Mattel needs to bring back that line in their new truck.
I just want to go on the record and say that Taco Bell should have never gotten rid of Baja Blast.
Did they?
I have no idea. I don't eat tacos. I've never had a soda in my life. I don't know what's going on over there.
They did. It's back now, full time. Go ahead. Gunslinger re-release.
Woo.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
Sorry, there you go. There's Gunslinger, which I think we've already seen. So
Gunslinger re-release again. That's number 44.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading a text message from the design team. They got my Gravedigger 3 pictures. Shout out to Fred Bunman for those. Those are awesome.
Ooh, you sent it to them?
So that might happen.
Why?
43-45, Brutus.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Good.
Brutus again, blah, 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 blah. That's actually 3 Team Scream trucks in 1 year, which is really nice.
We don't get the 4th until the next year.
Yeah. So here is a new one. This is pretty sure it's a new scheme.
New scheme.
So Black Stallion, which is a real scheme that they do use for a long time.
Yep.
I think till now still. So Michael Vodder's on the tailgate there. You got taillight printing, no headlights though, and that new wrap. And you got the Thunder Nationals Championship on there too still. So Phil, please.
This thing rocks. I mean, first of all, pairs well with Iron Warrior perfectly, but not the first time we see Black Stallion. We get it in small wheels. Gosh, the last time I think we got it was 2003. Oh no, we get it in big rims too with 2004. That early Black Stallion scheme, but then we don't get it for a number of years, which is a real shame because this is like prime Monster Jam era Black Stallion. Where Mike Vodder's is in World Finals. 2008's the last year Mike Vodder's is in the World Finals. So great time to get this truck. The scheme does change a little bit over time, and it's one that I think it's kind of a shame we don't get a lot of today, but this is a good one, right, RJ?
Yeah, I mean, outside of rim color, it's tour accurate. With the render there, the render on the box, you kind of like, why didn't they do color rims? We know the chrome story, kind of. But other than the rims, it's tour accurate, and it was nice. I liked it. And the Thunder National logo I liked. I don't know if that was on the real truck. I don't think that was on the real truck. But
man, I don't know. It may have. It's been a while. It certainly doesn't run it now, but...
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good truck. Tour accurate other than that logo, but I like the Thunder National and the history behind it, so that being on the roof.
Yeah, and it's so many years since 2004 where we last get it, but good point with Tyler Ramirez. It is enough of a design change where it's different. Like, yeah, there wasn't the pink scallops because I don't think the truck was running pink scallops way back when. So it's a very great noticeable change on this truck, and it's a real winner. We're gonna get to the I call it the Fiesta of 2008, and this one's great.
Okay, so Black Stallion and another repeat, Pastrana 199. Perfect opportunity to give it yellow rims, never did.
Yeah, same.
So sad that truck won't get that. Man, this one's back again, but they took away those special rim inserts.
Hey, can we take a look at the roof on Batman?
Oh yeah, also championship.
This is 10. Okay, so John Seasock wins his first of 2 world championships in 2007. Surprisingly, they get away. I'm surprised with the licensed trucks like Batman that they were able to add logos and then it gets onto the toy. So DC Comics was okay with them adding their Monster Jam, adding their own touch to it. And it gets it on the toy here too. So yeah, it is the same old Batman that we've seen for a while, but
that logo made a difference.
Logo makes a difference, and it gets changed again in 2009. So
yeah. And again, those rims are changed out. Also, this is actually a new casting. That is new. This bat symbol here. I'm just gonna real quick hop back because people might not understand what the heck I'm saying. Let's go to 4 if it's in here. It is in here. You'll notice that the original Batman had that like pointy thing in the front.
Yeah, but pointy thing went away.
Yeah, they recasted this, but didn't really change much else about it. Just that interesting little part there.
Yeah, but hold on, son. Don't confuse me. Go back to the 2007 Batman.
Oh, we might have just skipped over that too.
Because like they got rid of pointy thing many moons ago.
They did, yeah. Okay. So that was new a while back because the rim inserts new. No, they're still there. So they did change that. We can try to trace.
I think pointy thing went away like right around then too. If you want to keep going crazy.
Where is it in here this year? I feel like it's in every year.
Batman has to be in 2006. No.
No, they skip into 2006. I'm assuming back in 2005 if it was there.
Batmobile.
Batman, there you are. Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
What are you doing, man? Like we talked, Santa didn't even come to town when we talked about this.
So 2004 seems to be the last year that we see Batman with the pointy nose. I'm assuming it had it on this one too. Yeah. So they changed that back in 2005. This is not new. but we're just now catching it.
Well,
So
the roof decals. Well, hold on. Don't bring me on your sinking Dan Evans destroyer ship.
there's that again.
I'll go down on my own glory.
So I missed it on the detail. So that's something that was newer way back then, and the roof decal is new now. 49 Suzuki back again. A very popular truck. I can't say that it was a peg warmer ever, because that's at the time, I'm not so sure about now, well-known brand. So again, yellow, proud and loud truck. I don't think that it had any problems. So nice to see it back. And 3 times this year. Scarlet Bandit, they're trying to sell it any way they can, and Shock Series is another way to try. But unfortunately, I don't think
it's like they made the bodies for it, and it's like, oh shoot. Like,
yeah. They have 100,000 units, so like toss them everywhere we can. So there's Shocks.
That's a new Shocks though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it might be the only new Shocks this year.
Yeah, it's a new Shocks, but like, really, do you need it?
And this one's a classic. No complaints here. I love War Wizard.
We don't get. I'm running you right over here because I don't think we get War Wizard in 2007.
No, we skip it. It was a little bit back though. We did get a couple times.
Oh, it's a welcome change. I think a lot of people picked this up.
There's that nice body line all over. You can see it all over this one, especially. Yeah. But War Wizard is a classic. I know Tyler's again in this chat here. I've mentioned it before and again, and I'll do it again. He drew an awesome Christmas edition of War Wizards. You got to check out on his Instagram, Savage One Customs. But there's War Wizard 51, 52, Monster Mutt. The regular Monster Mutt at the time is still being used as a normal truck. They love it at the time. Now, not so much, but it is making its reappearance in the line.
It's just got the red Dalmatian logo on the packaging, which is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, I hate when they do that, especially now with Spin Master. They still do the regular trucks logos on like a special edition truck of the trucks series. So
they do that in the events, and it drives me crazy.
It does. Well, they did it like at World Finals 16 when they had all those color bodies. They did it correctly. And I was like, yes, awesome. Like Gravedigger was purple and green. And
they just did this over the weekend. They showed like the gray Max D logo when it's Max D Fire. That's just little things like that bug me. I don't mean to make fun of anybody. Please don't yell at me. That's just pet peeve for Phil. That's all.
That's still the hairless Monster Mutts rendering. Not sure why. There's 52, 53. El Matador gets a redesign.
All right, yeah. So now this is what business is starting to pick up, kids. Like you saved your money all 2008. Now you can spend it in. Here we go.
All right, I'll let Phil talk about El Matador's update here.
El Matador's update. It pairs perfect with King Crunch. This thing rules. It pops. We don't really get to play around with this scheme too much in later years, but man, this is such a radical change from the original Matador, which is kind of like maroon and like a little Matador on the side. Now this is like,
what was that?
Boom, El Matador.
Yeah, I agree. Was this a Hot Wheels original? Well, it's not a Hot Wheels original.
It looks like it.
Hot Wheels paint scheme.
You know, I don't know who gets credit for these. Oh no, it was Hot Wheels because when I had David Smith on the Monster Truck Outlaws of the West podcast, he did mention Hot Wheels designed that scheme, so I would imagine Hot Wheels did design this El Matador scheme.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a lot more busy than the first one. It's a lot. I like the bull on the side better than the old truck. I mean, I do like the old truck for nostalgia purposes, but this one was cool and updated. Like kind of like the bad news thing. You like the original, but it's cool to see a refresh.
But the problem is, I think as time goes on, like this becomes like a truck that you don't need it again.
Yeah.
So like. It's unfortunately it's like in that same category we were talking about like Broker and Annihilator in previous episodes where it's like you get it once but never again. It shouldn't be the case for this scheme El Matador, but it is. But it's a great scheme and it's a must-have.
Yeah, it's a must-have. I agree. It's a must-have. It was a Carpet League update from your other one. You can update the old El Matador with this one, and it worked out good. I liked it. It was a good.
Yup.
Yeah. So Matador. Back again. At this time, or around this time, they're running that Fiesta El Matador and King Crunch, and I was always disappointed that we never got those.
Yeah, I always wanted a Fiesta King Crunch too.
Every single time I saw on TV, I'm like, when is Hot Wheels going to make that? And unfortunately, never happened. But those were awesome schemes of those two trucks, and I loved the SUVs. So there's El Matador, and then Stone Crusher, which I think is a new face.
That's a brand new one.
All right, so here we are, Stone Crusher. Of course, a truck that still runs to this day with the same scheme. And Spin Master actually brought it back because people love Stone Crusher so much. And it was like, when it was announced first, everyone's like, oh my God, Stone Crusher. So yeah, it's stuck around. It also in real life will like run for a couple random, I forget when he does it, but he runs a pink scheme sometimes.
He ran it like once, and it was on
Mother's Day
Virginia Beach one year because it was Mother's Day weekend. He ran it on a Sunday.
Yeah, that was an interesting change, and I think I will suggest that one to Jordan at Spin Master as well because he loves pink and like anything to make Stone Crusher for people. So it's a great it's a dual.
We need the OG Stone Crusher.
We do. Yes.
Yeah.
Phil, if you want to talk about Stone Crusher while I look for a photo of that.
Man, this is a big deal, this Stone Crusher truck. So Stone Crusher's around for a couple years, and then Steve Sims, this is like maybe like the first or second year he owns Stone Crusher from Gary Wiggins. And Stone Crusher makes the World Finals in 2008. It really has that amazing freestyle. And this is like, in my opinion, like peak Stone Crusher. Like Stone Crusher is on the map. It's one of the top independents. It has this awesome new scheme where like, again, like that Stone Crusher gray scheme is a lot like that original Matador scheme where it's like a little caveman on the side, just like look at me. It's like, it looks like the little caveman on them commercials that you watch on when you watch The Price is Right. Now all of a sudden you get this Stone Crusher scheme and it's like, wait for it, bam, Stone Crusher. And it's like, it's right in your face. The only downside as time goes on, this is after 12, 13 years. This is still the same scheme Stone Crusher running. Stone Crusher is no gravedigger. Steve, you need to change the scheme, my friend.
I'm going to pull on the pink one before RJ goes just real quick. There it is. That's a loud truck. I mean, also it looks like the Spectra Flame Hot Wheels pink color. It's awesome, and I really hope that one day. I don't think Jordan knows this exists, so I'm definitely going to email him this one because he's going to love that. This is just so cool.
Definitely do that. Because I always wanted the pink one over the regular one.
Yeah, I'll just leave that on screen, RJ, if you want to talk about Stone Crusher in your experience.
I mean, Phil, solid 08 World Final. Wait, was it 08? Yeah. Freestyle run, put Stone Crusher on the map. And then, like I said, these pink Mother's Day Virginia Beach bodies, I love seeing that. And that would be very cool to get made again. And that the Stone Crusher of the 08, like I said, it's a one you need in your World Finals carpet.
Yeah, and I'm actually not to bash on Stone Crusher. It was never and still not is not my favorite independent, but it's so popular with like the majority of collectors out there and Monstrium fans that Spin Master brought it back. And then as a limited amount of independents in Steel Titans 2, Monstrium Steel Titans 2, the video game coming up, they put it in again. So Stone Crusher's popularity has not gone anywhere with the original fans of it, the new fans of it, the Monstrium fans, the community. Again, just not my favorite independent. I kind of tend to go towards Team Scream more often than not. But Stone Crusher is a staple of Monster Jam independents and just an independent in general. And I think that pink scheme would just suit the Spin Master line so well because the normal Stone Crusher already sells perfectly fine on itself. But a pink one, people are gonna be like, "What is that?" You know. So with that, especially that nice like dark hot pink that it has.
Definitely get that sent out because that would be epic.
Yeah, definitely gonna remember to do that one. There's that pink and there's that Neil Vandenberg day. So there we go. Clean up my tabs. 40 or 54 Stone Crusher. We're returning here again with Devastator. 50.
Gotta get one dud in the mix of the Fiesta here. So
yeah. So there's that. He's back. And 56. There's that plastic base Eradicator. Does it still have the Harley Davidson? I can't tell from
it does.
Yeah. So there's Eradicator.
Same one from the previous year, but another good chance. It's again, this is a good mix of stuff here at the end.
Yeah. Again, seen this one for the third time, I think now.
This is a brand new scheme.
Brand new scheme.
Is it? I thought we saw this one already.
No.
Okay.
It's a refresh.
But it was a different paint scheme.
All right. So refresh of anger management. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, use refresh of anger management, folks. Makes our green anger guy on the side, or mean Brian Anger on the side here look a lot sleeker and more menacing. This is cool to see. This I think is a lot better than that original one. I think the original one's kind of like the third grade art project, and then it's like when you look back at your old art projects from like elementary school, now that you're in high school, you're like, I can do it better. And that's what this one looks like. So pretty cool, man. I like this anger management.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that your last comment there probably is the best. Like the other one had a red body, blue frame, And this one's black frame, red body, looks a lot cleaner. Very nice refresh.
Yeah, so there it is, anger management. And then the normal release finally of Destroyer with that new scheme. So if you want it on a normal chassis, like I was unable to find during my time as a collector back then, this is your chance to get it as 58 of 70. This one, I think we haven't seen it in a while, but it's back again, 59 out of 70, Maniac. And it still has that Spitz contract on there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Spitz.
And I will let...
Is back, yeah.
Yeah, I will let Phil take it over as he talks about Don Frankish and Maniac.
Well, there's Don Frankish. He was the owner of Maniac, and his name's on the truck. This is the first time. Actually, not much to say here. I'm looking in 2007. Now I'm realizing this is the first time we get Maniac since 2003 or maybe 4 at the end. And this is the first time with this like dark blue scheme, because that original small wheel Maniac is purple.
Yeah, that's true. So this is a new paint change for the Maniac.
Refresh.
But this becomes like one of the most notable peg warmers.
Yes, and the Superstore peg warmer as well.
Oh yeah,
it will be on there. I don't want to say it is still, but it was there for a long time.
He was going to say
so, Maniac. Spectra Flame, finally, a new one. This one's really cool too. Blue Thunder is back. Although it's weird with the blue Spectra Flames, it kind of matches their already used blue paint that they have on other trucks, like the Aftershock we saw earlier. So it's one of the less noticeable ones of the paint colors of Spectra Flame, but it is like a little different. But Blue Thunder does receive that nice touch-up with it. And with that, I'll let Phil, of course, take it over.
It's blue. It's thunderous.
It's just less noticeable.
No, blue's a good color. It pops really well. Again, better than black, but maybe other colors are better. At first year with Spectra Flames, it went with a lot of layups with kind of like where you wanted to go with it. And Blue Thunder's another layup. And it when you kind of thinking back, when you compare to like this Blue Thunder, and then take El Toro Loco 2. Compare that to the Chrome trucks we got way back when in 2003. Man, the Chrome trucks are a lot stronger. So that's unfortunately maybe the kryptonite with some of these Blue Thunders and the El Toro Loco, especially Gravedigger, is like a whole different truck. But the Blue Thunder and El Toro Loco especially, when you look at the Chrome truck, it's a lot better. And it's pretty much the same like Spectra Flame family. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another one added into there. Like you brought up those Chrome trucks, kind of looked bad compared to those, but I mean, still, it's a truck that's on tour at the time. It's a company truck. It needs to get in a Spectra Flame, so here it is.
Yeah. Cool. So there it is, Spectra Flame, Blue Thunder, number 60. Number 61, I believe this is the first time we're seeing Prowler with the white chassis in this scheme.
No. Yes. No. Yeah, let's look at 2006 real quick.
I think I had the white one. I don't remember.
I feel like we've maybe seen this already. I can't
changed
remember.
the body in 2007 when they do that shocks, but I don't know if that's the same body from 2006. It's okay. The white's a little more defined. It's because like the pink. It's almost like pink in 2006, but it's the same thing. I mean,
the white roll cage was on there too.
I wouldn't be calling this like a variation.
Okay. So anyway, there's a plastic-based edition of that Prowler. Yeah. And then a new one. I recall this one specifically at Anaheim shows that I went to in the past. Tropical Thunder, still around, up to last year, 2020 Spin Master. So, not in real life, but in toy form.
In Australia. There's still a Tropical Thunder in Australia.
It did move on to Australia, but I know Levi Jones in the chat can vouch for that. Anaheim always.
We'll dissect here in a sec. Talk about the truck.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I have to say about it.
No, you go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead.
Tropical Thunder, great truck. You needed it. It was running at this time. It was weird you didn't get a Patriot this time, but seeing this one you were cool with. And it's a nostalgic name, Tropical Thunder. So, I love it.
So, I think Tropical Thunder peg warms a little bit after this, which is kind of a shame, but this is such a great to see. And we're balking back and forth because if you guys paid attention to recent news, the Eichelberger brothers are running what was the Patriot and Tropical Thunder trucks for Monster Truck Wars with Outlaw and Sheriff bodies. And but I did mention there is still Tropical Thunder in Australia because Guy Wood's Tropical Thunder, before when he sold the operation, he sold it down to Australia. The name went to Dan Rodoni, but the Australia one still runs under Sam Michael Exurb. I don't know how to pronounce their last name, but if you follow Australian monster trucks, you know who they are. So I'm sure they probably signed quite a few of these at events over the years. So yeah, this one it's a simple basic scheme, but it's a brand new truck. You got to have it. That's why I think the next 4 trucks, it's like a fearless foursome. I remember way back in the day, I used to find out what trucks were coming out by scrolling through eBay and just searching monster trucks and stuff. And I remember seeing these 4 trucks all come out at once. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Tropical Thunder kicks that off. And I know the next trucks we'll get into here in a second. It was again, it's a 2008 Fiesta, man. At the end, you saved your money. You got a lot of good trucks at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's a good point. This starts off the feast at the end of the year. So
it's unfortunate that Patriot will never receive its original paint scheme, or one of the original ones in diecast form. I saw that one at shows so many times and wondered when Mattel at the time would do it. Never did. But Tropical Thunder did. And there it is, number 62 of 70. Here we go with our startup of the best parts of 2008. Virginia Giant with a yellow scheme. So I'm sure Phil has some story behind this one. Let's go ahead and.
Well, not much of a story. Again, as part of that fearless foursome that I was just talking about. We've had Virginia Giant numerous times over the years, including last year, the return of after a couple year hiatus with that pink and blue checkered flag scheme. Get the brand new yellow scheme here. It's such a big difference from like how you picture Virginia Giant. So great to see, and I think it blends in very well with everybody else.
It was a good refresh. It's the new Virginia Giant that we haven't. Oh, that made a lot of sense. At this time, it's brand new coming out. Very nice to see a new Virginia Giant after all the years of the old paint scheme. And yeah.
If I recall correctly, this might be the only year we get this yellow one, right?
Oh no, I think it sneaks in 2009.
Okay, I just feel like it was
then that's it. But a lot of stuff kind of ends in 2009 because 2010 becomes a big reboot. So
yeah, here we go, the best of the best here. So Obsession, another California truck that I saw all the time at Anaheim. Unfortunately, we don't get the earlier schemes, but here it is, Obsession Racing. So I'm sure Phil, there's a lot of cool sponsors on here too. If you want to talk about Rick, because I know great friends with Rick. I've seen him in several occasions with you. So go ahead.
Everybody loves Rick Swanson, BDR. So, I look at this truck. If you guys know from many moons, Rick Swanson and Obsession had muscle machine trucks, which was like such a big contrast. They were like one of the big outliers. This was them coming back, come back full circle here. They got a lot of different sponsors here. Has a tribute decal to Rick's dad, who passed away in 2008. I'm pretty sure it's 2008. That's on the window panel.
I can barely see it, but yeah.
Yeah, Bob Swanson, I should say there. I think Eric's name's on the tailgate because it says Rick, Eric, and Jill Swanson's Obsession. So, yeah, a lot of little Easter eggs for the future of the team. This is a must-have for everybody, especially if you were never somebody that was buying muscle machines, like you would never even had Obsession to begin with. So what's unfortunate with a lot of the Obsession racing trucks over the years, we don't get a lot of them. Obsession and Obsessed runs a lot of different schemes, different styles. We just don't get a lot of them. Not always Hot Wheels' fault if you know Rick, but this is a good one to have. You know them, you love them, and you got to have a bunch of these.
I don't think I can top that. It was tour accurate at the time, right, Phil?
Yeah, this is tour accurate. Gosh, let me look up something real quick. One of those sponsors I thought was a Vineyard. I could be totally wrong. Norman is Norman a Vineyard?
If it is,
that's cool. The best part about Hot Wheels having the contract is that they have so many other contracts just as a company, and that's why we get away with a lot of these things. So like Line X being on there, that's a great Easter egg to, of course, the past, but that's also on there. AmeriGas, that's a pretty big.
So that's on there because Rick sold AmeriGas for a while, and I think Line X too. Line X, they were longtime partners, but Yeah, I
And-
just double checked. Norman Vineyards is a vineyard. Yes.
Oh,
So
man,
that
on
is
the podcast.
that is full blown alcohol sponsorship on this tour.
Classic.
Rick
just-
got away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this doesn't mean they're going to make a Monster Energy. Don't get too excited. This is most definitely an oversight. So don't get too crazy.
So Obsession, just awesome to see. And then the return of Rolling Thunder. Of Rolling Thunder. I'm like Thunder 4x4 is going through my mind. Rolling Thunder with this like pink scheme. I'm assuming it was a real truck. I feel like I've seen this run on a show. So there's Rolling Thunder.
Yes,
Go ahead, Bill.
here's the thing with the Rolling Thunder. We get it in 2005. Part of the clown car of 2005. Rolling Thunder sneaks in there. We get it here in 2008. It's kind of weird because the real truck is still running a Chevy body, but we get it here on the Ford body. And what is the big weird thing about this is that it's like orange pinkish, which is super weird because the real truck's red. I mean, it's purely red. This is almost like they took some leftover Excalibur bodies and made Rolling Thunder. So other than that, it's 100% tour accurate. Jim Benzik is running this scheme, and this really is the premise of Jim Benzik's truck. Even till today, as Thunder 4x4, they just changed the name a couple times and changed the scheme to white. So this is a scheme design that we still see today.
Yeah, it was the color throws you off because you see the Speed Channel episode from Indy probably that year. He's probably at Indy or somewhere, and it's red, and then the toy comes out, and you're like, okay, no, but still get it because it's new. I did anyways, and I liked orange, so I didn't mind it.
Yeah. All right, Rolling Thunder. Unfortunately, we never do receive that white Rolling Thunder before it does become Thunder 4x4.
Yeah, no, I don't
Hot Wheels, which kind of upset me because like it's such a simple paint.
And you know what? I think Hot Wheels did design this scheme. Now that I'm thinking about it,
it does look like their artwork again. You can just tell when it's a Neil Vandenberg, someone else, or a Hot Wheels. It's just like
they're A pluses.
This one we've seen a lot recently. Wild Hair. So unfortunately, in that mix of new things, there's a couple tossed in there.
We get a couple freebies in there, but they're not like we're giving you boring trucks. So
yeah, I'm not quite sure why this was so rare back in the day, and I think maybe still now it's harder to find. But this Cyborg just kind of becomes one of the rare ones. Only released this year, I believe. And it kind of has a history. Like the green was used a bunch, and then they stopped, and then they did one, and then one of Cyborg, and then they stopped again. So Cyborg with the Bars Leaks sponsor, of course, Jack Caberna, who often, as we mentioned, gets like these one-time releases, which is really cool. So besides that original green Cyborg, he gets the one-time releases from that point moving forward. So here's like a white and black Cyborg, very, very simple scheme. It is super simple, but very rare.
But it's super simple, but actually it kind of matches in counterpart with that awesome teal Tough Enough we get in 2007. So, but yeah, it's kind of rare because this comes out in like the last case of the year, and we don't see it again. Like it doesn't get repacked in like a later case, and it doesn't come out in 2009. So I could see the rarity on that, and probably think talking about it, there's probably gonna be one of these in each case to begin with. So just giving it a little bit extra handicap. So definitely harder to find. Probably the hardest of the Coburna trucks to find as time goes on. But it's obviously you're not going to get 100% accurate because Jack Coburna's trucks are very unique. But for what you can do with it, this is as accurate as you can get.
Yeah.
This is tour accurate to the truck. I'm glad I got mine autographed over there. I didn't know it was that rare. I got a couple of them, plastic based too. So I'm glad I have more than just one, and mine's autographed. So great truck.
It is a very rare one. Again, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why, or probably because the case assortment, like Phil said, and the placement in the year. But yeah, if you have one of these, you got not like an extremely rare truck, but of the assortment of the year, it's one of the.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like putting down payments on houses with that Cyborg. But
and I was actually just looking through the 2008 yearbook for something completely unrelated to this podcast, but I did come across that original Donkey Kong announcement. And in 2008, they managed to knock out Donkey Kong during its, I think this is the debut year, if I'm not mistaken, of it. I think it was announced coming out in 2007, maybe, in the yearbook. Yeah, as a little rendering, and everyone was like, oh my God, Donkey Kong. And then it came out as a real truck, and Hot Wheels knocked it out just in time for the end of the year. Unfortunately, 164 scale is not super accurate. The 124 scale, however, if we can see the truck here, that's like really jagged cut ear and the little hair that kind of goes loop. That's on the real 124 scale, very accurate. The 164 scale, we kind of get this like mohawk, straight up hair, rounded ear, and it's not super accurate on the front there. But it's also a very simple truck, although 3D concept, simple truck. So we can't really mess it up too bad. I did really enjoy the fact that they went the detail level with the tie. That was just kind of funny, and then they did it with Zombie again in the future. But yeah, Donkey Kong, not completely 100% accurate. It would have been nice if this truck was still around to get it done again, but there it is. Frank Krimmel, very well known for driving this one.
You guys, I was such a huge Donkey Kong fan. I remember when I saw Donkey Kong at the World Finals in 2008. I have like pictures. I'll post them probably next week when I'm home. I'll post pictures of me in front of Donkey Kong, the tie and everything. I was such a big Donkey Kong fan. When I saw this truck, I lost my mind because, it was such the old habit where, if it was a new truck for the season, it comes out the next year. Yeah. This is like the first time where that exception is really broken, where Donkey Kong debuted in Minneapolis 2007, but like that was always like on paper, like the start of 2008, like in TV terms. So this was like a 2008 debut truck, and they got it right at the end of 2008. But you do mention like the discrepancies. As a kid, you don't care. It's Donkey Kong. It's awesome. But like when you look at discrepancies, that's mainly because they probably knew about this truck in advance. They said, Hot Wheels, you got the green light, make it happen. But unfortunately, we don't have it 100% done yet. This is what we have. This is what we have to work with. So like the ears is a good point too. Obviously the biggest thing for me is that hair. He's got such a great clip Mohawk Warrior going on right now on his hair.
The real truck had that nice curve.
Yeah, he's kind of got like a cowlick. This one, it's like alfalfa, straight up in the air. This is a good example, Hot Wheels get the green light, make it happen. There's a big noticeable one so many years later where it's like, hey, we have this idea for a truck. You have the green light to make the toy, and then Hot Wheels just unfortunately got a raw deal, and that was with Megalodon, where it was like, you told us you had a shark truck, and then it was like not, and they got screwed up there. But Donkey Kong they got pretty close to. And if you're able to trim that hair, I think this is basically perfect. But I absolutely love it. I went crazy. I went ape when I saw this truck.
I did too. I'll be honest. Real life and toy form, one of my favorites of the 2008 era for sure.
I had a couple open because I went ape for Donkey Kong as well. But I still have one in the package hanging on the wall. So, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? It was messing up. It was glitching out on my screen.
Why? Because I'm not interrupting you? Is that why you thought?
Yeah, that's mainly why. No, but I love Donkey Kong for the debut. The debut didn't have the eyes, so technically this is still accurate. I don't know about the time. Oh, yeah, probably at the time.
No. Well, okay. The eyes make it for World Finals 2008.
Do they?
Okay. I don't know if it's running at that a little bit before that. But what's kind of weird, I'll talk about the eyes real quick because the eyes do make it on the toy in 2010.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to bring this in real quick just because I want to show the 124 scale accuracy. They do, before they do the 124 scale, they do manage to get the ears that cut. They give the hair properly. They even do the mouth a little thinner.
Because they have time to where it's like, we can make this right. So.
Yeah, it's actually super accurate, this release. Yeah. And there's those eyes that you eventually do see, so go ahead.
Yeah, but because I know talk about it in 2010 at point. We get the toy in 2010, starting in 2010 with the eyes.
Wasn't it?
The real truck does not have eyes. It became way too much of a hazard, even though the eyes were like see-through, it was really like Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby had the Fig Newton sticker.
It's really dangerous and inconvenient, but I do love Fig Newters. So,
yes. And then a lot of people know like Scooby-Doo would sometimes like run like the pupil on the windshield in real life. Nothing like these.
Let's just bring on those eyes real quick.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty terrifying looking eyes. But then it's also got a frown, so it's like all sad, and I don't know. You can't tell the emotion there with the truck.
Hey, you know what, Phil? So with the diecast, I remember back in 2008, Chucky and Frank Krimmel were in Oklahoma City, and I saw Donkey Kong with eyes. So to the point, the diecast probably should have had eyes in the first release, but we got it. That's all that matters.
Also a safety thing. I think those eyes probably did ruin some people's of days at Monster Jam.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying.
Granted, the black's pretty menacing too. It's like,
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, that's kind of scary too.
yeah. They didn't, that's the thing about the one thing I didn't love about this is that the windshield, they didn't give it one. It's a solid casting throughout, and they just put a black decal over the windshield area. I feel like a windshield with the clear looking through into the roll cage and the driver's seat would have been better and a little less scary looking. But yeah, that was an interesting one. Also, they gave the 164 scale that smile, which the 124 got the. Oh, actually, give the smile too. The truck had a completely different look. The truck was just brown. And I think it would look maybe better with the eyes like this if the casting of the real truck or the tooling or whatever you want to call it, the form looked upward. It just looks so sad and like I don't know. There's just a weird emotion going on here. But the toy always had a smile. I guess I said it was accurate.
Truck only ran 3 years, guys. Like
yeah,
it last a long
it
time.
has an interesting
For being so noteworthy, it did not last long.
But that compared to the new Donkey Kong is just beautiful.
Oh yeah, the new one from Hobbs, which was
it just.
Yeah. I was like, "What Donkey Kong?" I was like, "Oh right, that they did
that."
Yeah,
we don't have to talk about it.
Hey, the closeout 2008 here, we get a return of a re-release of Jurassic Attack.
And Brian has some pretty big paint chips on this.
Oof, yeah, but it's a notable one. It's we don't get Jurassic Attack. We get in 2005, and obviously a couple of small rims, but like just like Maniac, it's a welcome return.
Yep, and then finish off the year with a repeat.
With a Thrasher, like
that plastic-based Thrasher that we talked about last episode. They didn't make a plastic-based last year, but they do in this year. So finally, closing off the singles. Now we have a lot.
Well, before not as much as 2007.
Oh, I thought we had a lot. Never mind.
Couple notables here. I don't think there's anything weird with codes. I know people always ask about that, but there are 2 notable trucks that were like tentatively planned that never came out. One of them was, I think you kind of pinpointed, we hinted a little bit, it was Patriot. Patriot was preliminarily planned to come out alongside Tropical Thunder. For obvious reasons, I think they ran into some issues with the New England Patriots. Don't quote me. We do obviously eventually get Patriot, but gosh, we don't get Patriot until 2012, right? Or 2012. So that's a long time from 2008. But Patriot was one of them. Another one was McGruff.
McGruff.
They always kick around with McGruff. This was the closest we would have gotten to a McGruff toy. One thing to know, if you ever talk to Rod Wood and you hear the story of McGruff, I also interviewed him on the Monster Truck Outlaws of the West podcast, and he talks about this where the McGruff organization, they're very big fans of, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it once, and that helps build our brand. So if ever in the future that we do get a McGruff toy, just know that is going to be the only time we get McGruff. We're not going to get other schemes. We're not going to get it from other toy companies or anything like that. So if, fingers crossed, we do get a McGruff toy, but I'm giving you a warning now. You better buy every one you can find, because that's going to be a really hard to find truck, because you're never going to get a McGruff again. They're going to take the Medusa approach, folks. And I think there's a Hot Wheels toy that comes out around this time with a McGruff logo on it.
That might have been their only one.
Yeah, that's the only Hot Wheels toy. So maybe that came hand in hand too. But hey, you guys know about that one. But yeah, McGruff was, I think, made it to a checklist. I don't know if it might have made the MonsterJam.com checklist. I think that's kind of where this gets reconfirmed. But I know for sure this was on some preliminary checklist that there was a McGruff toy planned.
And knowing from obviously the Spin Master side of things, toolings, especially when they're independent toolings, they have to be used a lot. That's a little iffy, because they did stop using a lot of like the big Kahuna tooling and stuff. But
yeah, I don't know how that would have made it done, because at this time, 2008, McGruff stops using the 3D hood.
Yeah,
but it's obviously running police lights. So I don't know if they would have gave it police lights for a toy, or they would have said, "Here's this awful McGruff that doesn't have police lights," and it's just that original McGruff on the pickup really didn't have any decals. It was just a blue pickup that just said McGruff on the side of it. So kind of looking at that, you look at it next to like a truck like Annihilator and Thrasher, it's kind of like, oh.
Especially for something like Hot Wheels, which they tend to re-release so much to make up for tooling costs. If we were to receive a McGruff with the 3D hood, obviously listen to McGruff saying they only want to do it once. Mattel probably like, well, we can't justify the cost. Sorry, we're not going to do it.
Unless the organization wants to pay. But like McGruff is like from the National Crime Prevention Council. I'm pretty sure that's like a registered nonprofit. So I doubt they have money to be thrown around to be spending for new tools, where some of that money could actually be used to like educate the youth about drugs.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And if McGruff were to come out as a one-time deal, I'd actually prefer it to be that 3D tooling just because it's a classic. And I know people actually disagree with that. People are always like, the McGruff 3D looked horrible. But it's such a classic to me. Anaheim, all the time it was there. For the early time that I went to Anaheim, I'll pull a picture real quick on the screen. Because
if I had to choose, I would choose that one.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one most people saw during the lifetime.
Even though they don't like it, this is the one I'd do.
We can make El Perro Loco with that because El Perro Loco ran that hood for a little bit, but
yes, you can.
El Perro Loco, obviously.
I just think it's such a classic. It would be a perfect retro rebel for Spin Master. Of course, the justifiability of it being used once is difficult. However,
if you can sell them on the light bar, that's a big thing.
Well, they're going to have to do a whole new tooling of a pickup truck anyway. The light bar insert would be no big deal because it's just a plastic insert and they're professionals at that, obviously. So, yeah, I'd love to see Jordan 3D tool this out.
Only get American made. That's the third identity Rodwood runs, and that's an easy layup.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, for Anaheim goers, for Monster Jam fans of the time,
that's Pinterest Phoenix, so I know what you're
Well, I just remember Anaheim all the time, and I was always waiting for McGruff to come out. One of my favorites of the tour at the time, just because I loved the hood, I loved the police lights, I loved the theme. But yeah, never came out. So this would be a heavy suggestion to Spin Master by me. But now knowing the one-time use idea, there's a float of 3 different McGruffs I think that exist. The original hood with like the pale dog.
But they got there's a couple different like variants,
yeah,
stuff. But like that means it's like, okay, if you're gonna get one, it's
actually, I'm not sure if anyone's ever seen that.
It's like Medusa. Imagine only getting one Medusa, not one different scheme.
Yeah,
one of it truck. Period. So you have to choose wisely. That's just the McGruff, the Crime Prevention Council uses.
There's the other one.
Yeah,
OG McGruff.
Yeah, and then of course the pickup truck runs one with the like cartoon dog on the side, just a normal Ford.
It runs 3 different variants on the pickup, like just all solid blue. Then it adds design, and then it changes to the scheme it still runs today, which I think is better of the 3. But
yeah, I'm also looking at a red. Is that red? Oh, it is red. Okay, they kind of changed it a little bit, like the decals, but
it's the bed panels from when they ran the Obsession truck.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just looking at a bunch of McGruff pictures now. But yeah, 25 years, that would have been this anniversary scheme here. So that's pretty cool for McGruff. So I would definitely suggest if we ever got one, it would be this one. I know maybe people won't agree with that, but this is the one that ran and mostly sticks around in people's memories of McGruff.
It's more unique with the hood.
Yeah, it's very unique. It kind of reminds me also, I suggest this one back when they did Cyborg originally, the Cyborg with a 3D Cyborg on the front. That would be awesome to get. It's just those classic, like early age 3D casts of the front ends, like Predator, kind of like that's a cool, deal. And I always thought it was like stupid because I didn't know the time, but I thought it was a teammate to Predator because they look so similar, like the cat front and the dog front. But it's a really classic one, a very forgotten truck now because it doesn't run in Monster Jam anymore. I don't think for a long time now. But so yeah, McGruff, I miss it.
Runs his BKTs. Yeah, I mean, if you there's other schemes, folks. If you want to learn more about McGruff, listen to
back to the podcast. Actual discussion of 2008. So we have this really cool series. This is going to continue next year as well. The haulers, which are people's favorites. However, they don't fit a truck inside, so they kind of lacked that necessity. But people always ask me to ask Spin Master to make them again. But unfortunately, the trucks don't have many individualized haulers anymore. They're more just standard Monster Jam branded haulers. Max D has one. I don't even think, does Gravedigger have one anymore of an individualized one?
I don't.
I'm gonna say no.
I mean, you can go off of like the Gravedigger Experience trailer.
That one, yeah. But Max D does have its own, and Monster Energy has
it. A couple of the rigs do. It's mainly the ones that come out of the Paxton shop.
But
yeah.
So here's Blue Thunder. This is just a hauler, so there's that. And Phil, if you have anything to add, or RJ, these can probably go pretty quickly through.
Well, I think RJ can attest to this because me and RJ are both NASCAR fans. I mean, this is such a base mold that Hot Wheels used many years prior for the NASCAR line that they did.
Yeah.
So
they also use these for the WWE haulers that also.
Yeah, so these are very recognizable. I don't know if the original use was for NASCAR because I know
the hauler, the trailer part definitely is a old NASCAR hauler because it's the same size door and the same size, like, because a NASCAR diecast used to fit in them. So, and those you could fit cars in them, not monster trucks, of course. So I would assume that's probably where they got it from.
Yeah, and you have the molds. We can go on to some of the other ones, and the cars fit inside. And unfortunately, we do get Hot Wheels later on makes a different hauler where but it's like a bedside. It's almost like old school Sam Sturgis, going up and down the road hauler. So not really realistic. And then there's a different toy company. We have pictures on Pat website. I think the company was New Ray. Ray made a cool Gravedigger hauler where the truck did fit inside. That was like one of the biggest things. And that company got on board, they got a license, and they made a Gravedigger hauler. So if you do want one that fits inside, there's those. And if you really want to get old school, I'm sure we'll talk about them in some form one day. The OG Hot Wheels monster trucks, Bigfoot had a hauler, and then they did a variant the next year with Auto Palace, which is very hard to find.
Yeah. And I also want to mention that even though Avenger in real life has and Team Scream has their own haulers, there was like a meltdown about them not getting the release with their haulers, and
we need to explain why.
Yeah. So RJ, I'm sorry, RJ, did you say anything about Blue Thunder if you needed to?
Oh, no, it's good. It was. I have the majority of these, so it was very cool seeing these back then. Go ahead. You're good.
And again, hinting at that next year, that new tooling that's going to come out, Blue Thunder. Gravedigger, a little blurry of a photo here, but Gravedigger, nice, Neil Vandenberg.
Get a Digger variant, I think, next year or a couple years down the line. I don't remember.
So simple, not much else to talk about, just kind of a visual piece. Max D looks really cool. It's got the front engine rendering, nice work here with this. I like the coils, and just a cool one there. I
think Hot Wheels is the last one we get this year.
Nope, Dalmatian.
Dalmatian. Wow. I think Hot Wheels would get one.
And here's the start of Dalmatian becoming more well-known than Monster Mutt. They start to use it so much more than Monster Mutt standard. So here it is right there. And that's the hauler wrap-up. Now we enter this. This is actually a really cool thing. If you guys are variation collectors, this is necessary to your collection if you're out of the box or in the box, because this American Dream, there's no other photo. This American Dream with the plastic base is the only way you're going to find it, is this trio pack. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you where they sold these. I would assume like Fry's Electronics probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to generally ask you. I really don't know much about these.
Yeah.
It had to have been a weird. If somebody in the comments knows actually remember seeing these, I don't want any guesses. Like, I think I saw it in Toys R Us. Like this had to come from an oddball store. You said Fry's Electronics. That's extremely oddball. I don't know if they ever got exclusive stuff, but knowing a store like that and like Mervin's or something, I don't know. I honestly don't ever remember seeing these until the website got rolling.
Yeah. So who knows where this came from? But that
monster trio, Gravedigger, Blue Thunder, and American Dream.
For whatever American Dream's in there, whatever reason it's in there. But it is a very, very rare variant that is often not even known about because this thing is so odd. And now we enter another new thing that's going to carry over. I thought it was actually pretty cool, although the cars didn't really match the trucks too well. This is the what they call the monster duos. There's basically a mini car and the real truck with it. So they're doing obviously like a mini Hot Wheels car with the decals, which actually was a cool idea. Again, not executed perfectly because they're not always matching as close as they could. But there's Captain's Curse. So if you want to talk about the car, because we already talked about the truck, go ahead.
This is probably maybe, especially as years go on, this is the one car that maybe doesn't match the most. But again, folks, they're not taking the bodies off of the monster trucks and putting Hot Wheels wheels on them. They're Hot Wheels wheels. They're taking the pre-existing cars, matching them as close as they can. A lot of them they get pretty darn close.
Yeah,
it's like the only. I think what's this car called? Jaded. Yeah, so like this is the closest Willys Hot Wheels did at the time. So I guess it's fun. I think it's really cool, the branded car. I know a lot of the regular Hot Wheels car collectors, like they're especially like I know like the next year we get the Bone Shaker fun comes out. They buy that Bone Shaker pack because that's the only way you can get the Bone Shaker car off of the Bone Shaker monster truck. So for a lot of the car people, it's like they were having to buy these duo packs just to like complete their like certain collection for that car. So those are cool in that part. But yeah, these aren't. I know there's one notable one that comes out next year that we'll talk about. But these are okay. I mean, yeah, maybe if you saw this Captain's Curse instead of the other one, pick it up because you need it. But
yeah,
just another way to kind of get some of the trucks out there.
Yeah. So Captain's Curse, I also want to mention, I'm sure everyone knows this by now, they obviously are doing these again, these duo packs. I'm going to have to shut that dog up in a second. He's so loud. They're doing the duo packs again, and they're still continuing into 2021 as well from 2020. So after many years, 13, 12 years, technically starting 2020, they brought him back.
And you know what? It's more impactful now because a lot of what they do with Hot Wheels monster trucks are like
actual
the car
castings on the monster truck airframes.
Yeah, so like we make fun of like the Camaro and the Donkey Kong because it is literally just the car body put on monster truck. That works great for duos. And duos are probably, hate to say it, duos are probably cooler now in Hot Wheels monster trucks.
They are cooler now, especially because they include those crush car diecasts.
Yeah. So
yeah, those crush cars are worth saying they're cooler, I guess.
But unfortunately, those ones peg warm. I have been noticing a little bit because I don't understand the distribution. Not to completely sidebar on those, but the distribution on those newer duo ones are very weird. It's like they weren't. I think these ones were like Walmart,
Toys R Us,
or in Toys R Us's too. So I don't remember seeing these in Target at all. With these newer duo ones, they're like everywhere, and they're mixed in with the regular truck. So it's kind of like, man, what are you ordering? It's kind of weird.
You know, Target's less, or kind of, it was not carrying a lot of the specialty stuff, and then now it's kind of completely flip-flopped where you'll see Target's the only store that will carry the Monster Jam creatures for Spin Master, and they were the only ones carrying Dirt Squad until Walmart finally introduced them into their stores.
Well, then the Hot Wheels ones too. They have the SpongeBob's and the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So how Target was like cautious at first, and then over time they've kind of softened.
And I think that's because Toys R Us closed, so they realize, and Kmart's not doing too hot. So there's because Kmart did all the K days and stuff, and there's a need for like collector stuff. So they kind of have to realize, and now they got all these companies fighting for shelf space, and they're probably paying them to put that stuff on the shelf. So they're winning at that rate, and then us collectors are winning because there's more unique product at Target.
And actually, just because I did reveal this, and it's going to be out in like a week or so, my reveal on YouTube, Target's going to start carrying the Breaking World Records trucks, so they're getting their own singles exclusives again. So we're starting to see their stance on things soften up. Walmart's very particular about what they carry, and that's why they only carry, and I mentioned these last time, like this thematic series, because it has to be like super special for them to justify carrying it. So each store has their own kind of ethics about what they do. But these were, I remember, only in Toys R Us. I didn't have any Walmarts around me at the time, and now they're kind of widespread all over the place. But there's that. Also, he did mention Hot Wheels. It's not, wait, sorry, no, we're talking about haulers. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't. I know we're just rambling now. We can go over the other duos here real
Hot
quick.
Wheels. So Hot Wheels Beat That Scheme has this Baja, what is it called again?
I mean, I guess it's what it becomes, but
is it Baja Blaster?
Yeah.
It's something like that. It doesn't actually list the name. I thought they did. But there's the Hot Wheels car with that Hot Wheels Beat That paint scheme.
I think it does. If you go back, I think we have it labeled on the main page.
Off track.
That's okay. Yeah. So that one's kind of a weird one too, but it makes sense when you realize the next year, like there's a Blue Thunder that comes out.
Yeah.
So
and hopping into the last one again, Dalmatian becoming prevalent as the #1 monster mutt pretty quickly right off the bat. There, it just was, I guess, more appealing than the brown one. Here is Purple Passion, which is this thing, which looks really spooky with the giant mouth. Just doesn't suit it right. I just
some shades of like Wise Guy right here.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this one too much.
It's the dog car now. Not a truck, but yeah.
And what a missed layup. We don't get a regular, just, spoiler alert, we don't get a regular monster mutt in this line.
No.
Obviously, never Rottweiler, but we don't get a regular monster mutt in this line, which is such a shame. It's an easy layup.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the look of that anyway. The eye, maybe it's because the eye is way too big. But yeah, that's the weird one. And then we start getting some playset exclusive variants. So
I had this. I remember this one.
Yeah, this one was really cool. This one's actually it's motorized spinning arena.
This is Crash and Smash Stadium.
Let me
imagine like that weird Italian playset from a couple years ago, but like actually like available.
Yeah, I'm looking, just seeing if anything's changed down here. No,
I see old school destroyers there, but the Gravedigger is what's important here.
Yeah, so this Gravedigger will find on eBay like beat to chipped land. It'll be completely ruined all the time. I'm not sure why.
Like you see it every yard sale, flea market, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. But if you can find a mint condition one, it's a pretty cool release. It's got a gray chassis, which they start. It might have been a year before they already started doing it, but the gray chassis becomes like this permanent staple of Hot Wheels for playset exclusives. And then black rims on this Gravedigger, which I don't think we ever see another black rimmed Gravedigger ever again. So
if it is, it's like I think they may have re-released this playset.
But never singles or anything.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so there's your chance.
This truck starts because the next year's Gravedigger exclusive playset, or is it this year?
And
there may be another one. I don't know. I can't remember. Is there?
Oh yeah, it's in the same year. There it is again, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come down to it in a second. That's right. It's a variant. I'm not looking. So there's a variation of a longer package of it, and so you can see they got lots more like telling you what to buy for it, the batteries.
Well, do you know where this variant came from?
I do not.
It's Costco.
Oh, Costco, of course. Yeah, Costco tends to get the bigger
Christmas. Yeah.
So I guess it is the next year. There's another Gravedigger exclusive in a playset that's a lot cooler than this one.
Gray.
But this one starts. I can't talk. The seed in the ground to start the sprouting of the cool Gravedigger exclusives. Sorry, go ahead.
And then, of course, this actually sets up two other variants, if you didn't get the one before, of Gravedigger, 3 technically, because this one comes with a Monster Mutt Dalmatian with a gray chassis and white rims, which never happens again. And Hot Wheels with that new Beat That paint scheme with the old orange rims that they were using for the World's Coolest Car Company or whatever it was called before.
Yeah, and I think we see this one other time.
This Hot Wheels?
Man, if it is,
I don't think so.
That's it. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it does have a gray chassis with the orange rims. So this specific Beat That paint scheme is always on gold rims. And this is the one, I think one time we see it. We might see it again. But this definitely is one time. This is the only time you're going to see it.
Yeah, I'm double checking that Hot Wheels now. I always thought that too. Then I thought I was mistaken. Nope, that Hot Wheels I think is the only time we see it. Yeah. That Gravedigger, we do see it again the next year in a different pack. But then RJ's talk about the other diggers that pop around. So
sorry.
Yeah, that Gravedigger, that's why you see so many of them.
They get weird. Okay, so we can quickly go over our tour favorite packs.
These are direct repeats from last year.
So tour favorites one, it's that silver Gravedigger.
Again, one more time, just talking about that cool rendering of Max D there. But Chrome Gravedigger, back again, Bounty Hunter, Virginia Giant.
Plastic, by the way.
Yeah, these are new variations because the plastic base, but they're all in singles packs, so you don't have to worry about it.
Airborne Ranger. These are the exact same releases from 2007, aren't they? Well, no, because there's not a Scarlet Bandit here, is there?
Yes, there is. Destroyer's new, though. Destroyer got switched out.
So here's Dalmatian, Destroyer.
By the way, in the singles packs. Not in singles.
So plastic Reptoid.
Beat That Hot Wheels. And then back to these guys.
Okay, but Scarlet Bandit's not the weird...
Oh, yeah, it's an updated Scarlet Bandit. So 2 updates, Destroyer and Scarlet Bandit. And there's that.
3 is Maximum Destruction.
So Brian actually has a sun damaged or something damaged, heat damage. It could be, you can see these white spots forming and these cracks. That's signs of you're going to have a disintegrating roll cage soon. So talked about that earlier. And then Scarlet Bandit.
Annihilator, Screaming Demon, and then Scarlet Bandit's not the weird Mercury one. Or, gosh, what did I say? That's in the comments. Astrovan. Yeah,
and then tossing us into the fan favorites with those... Tour Crushers DVDs. We have some updates. I'm not sure what was last year's, but Captain's Curse is joining in. So some new renderings. Captain's Curse kind of looks odd here, but there's Captain's Curse. Still using Green Ghost as the back rendering, but don't use it in the package. Hot Wheels is there, and then those guys are still there. So
so number 1's Captain's Curse,
Hot
Wheels, and Gravedigger. That's tour favorites or fan favorites number 1.
Fan favorites 1 and then fan favorites 2
is Batman with
Yep.
with the roof decal that we were talking about earlier. Monster by Dalmatian, and
another damaged Scream Demon.
Now, what's kind of odd, folks, this is where you can help us out. We don't have a picture of number 3.
Yep.
I don't know. So it makes me kind of wonder, did number 3 ever come out?
I don't know. I don't know what would be in it. I have no idea.
Back on one of these in case anybody could help us out.
Actually, wait. Let me go back. Sorry. Yeah. Card back. It would be Suzuki, Annihilator, and El Toro Loco.
If anybody has that pack, please message us.
Yeah.
One of the few holes that Brian never filled in his collection. We have to ask Tanyan if he has it. Just confirm that it exists, because it's kind of weird after all these years. We never found it.
Yep. And then the card back for this year, right here, we have actually they highlight, which is really cool. They put a little box here for these special things: shocks, tilt offs, and Spectra flames. And then is this listing like all the new trucks? I think we got a couple more than these here. There's some new trucks.
All your early ones. So like there's Backdraft, Captain's Curse, and then Iron Warrior sneaks in as well.
Yeah, they don't ever really pay attention to their card backs until recent years, where they actually
that's how I do the Wrecking Crew and the Backdraft get in there. But it's 2009, the card backs changed to where it's like almost it's case related to what's new in the case.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing.
There it is. That's number
2008 was quick. We got to change that description saying part 1 of 2 because it was the entire 2008 line. No, I lied, folks. I thought we were going to be able to break away.
No. Next year, next episode, we'll definitely have to break away.
Then on out. Now we have to. But 2008, I totally forgot that. You know, this is a good line. Like, the end of the year spoils you because it's like there's so much new stuff, new schemes, and brand new trucks in general. But when you do the math, if you're excluding Spectra Flames and maybe a 1 or 2 new shocks or tilt offs, there's not a lot of new things. And if you're like one of those nitpicky people that doesn't get new paint schemes, you're going to be counting your hand how many new trucks you get. Like you get Captain's Curse, you get Wrecking Crew, you get Stone Crusher, Tropical Thunder, Obsession, and Donkey Kong. I think are the only pure new trucks you get. And then everybody else are maybe returning favorites with new schemes like Rolling
Freedom
Thunder.
Force is in here too.
Bad News. What's that?
Freedom Force.
Freedom Force. Oh yeah, how could I forget Freedom Force? See, I told you folks, Freedom Force is a very forgettable truck because by the time this toy comes out, the truck gets the new scheme, and then the truck is sold like pretty soon after. It's like not Freedom Force very long. So, but again, 2009, a lot better year, a lot more of like wants, and 2009 is that perfect lead up because 2010. The game changes and it gets crazy in Hot Wheels land. So 2008 is a good breather year. The year
could 10 arguably be their best year?
I will go down with my grave saying 2010 is the best year.
World Finals, Classics. Oh man.
Yeah, look, I'm not collecting in like current time frame, so like I'm not as emotionally attached to Spin Master as maybe some other folks are. I can definitely tell you the product's a lot better all around, but like when we get to 2010 might be a 3-parter because the amount of detail that 2010 goes in, like there is so much. Oh,
how about that?
I hope it's the right one. Send us a message. I don't want Ryan buying a pack, Tyler. But
that's it.
If it's a good, it's got green on the edge.
Yeah,
it says Kid Picks, Toys R Us exclusive.
Go back. Can you go down to the fan favorites again on our Brian Z pack?
$34.97, Phil. I don't have the money for it.
No, we're not. Okay, you can buy it, Tyler, and take pictures, and then you can rip it open and make customs out of them. But okay, Myth Gamer found them too, fellas. I mean,
no, Phil.
Can you Photoshop them?
Phil, there's variants of the freaking boxes. All 3. There's eBay seller has all 3 of them.
Are these not 2009s? Okay, you guys are liars. 2009 are green. So if you're pictures with green, you're wrong.
Don't buy it, Tyler. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Nope. Don't buy it. I need one that looks like the ones in 2008. If they're green, you're wrong.
So the Tour Crushers DVD, that's a big giveaway. But the green thing.
No,
is,
we're not giving you a Bakugan employee truck, but you get clout and your name recognition. Okay.
Yeah. Dang, I was happy.
Guys, I didn't know that was either thing either. I just happened to have 2009 open because I was looking for that Hot Wheels with orange rims. And I just looked down. The ones from 2009 are the exact same releases, but they changed the box art.
I do want to note that 2009 is about to give us some of the rarest things that we're ever going to see from Hot Wheels Monster Jam 2. A lot of rare things. 4 notable ones off the top of my head that I can think of. So yeah, 2009 is going to be a great discussion, especially part 2 where we actually get into those ones. So we want to thank you all for watching this long edition of this episode. Not super long as far as we've gone, but it was a full year of repeats and then new stuff and then repeats again. So we want to just say thank you for sticking with us. And we will see you guys next week for episode 15 of episode 1 of 2009. With that said, I think we're good. No more questions, really.
Anything that really applies to what we talked about tonight.
Yeah, a lackluster year. We get it. It's fine.
I told you guys. I said, do you have any questions about 2008? And the first question is, Ryan, when are we getting Overboard? It's like, no, that's not. No, stop it.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. We will see you next Monday. And until then, this is Phil, RJ, and Ryan signing off.
No, you're Ryan. I'm Phil.
He's Phil, and I'm RJ.
Yeah, this is Phil, RJ, and Ryan signing off. Okay, this is Phil. Phil, do the Donkey Kong face as we sign off. Donkey Kong face, Phil. Come on.
Yeah, Donkey Kong face there.